This is 97.6 KSJB, and you're listening to the Love Helpline with your host, Mark Sullivan. For those of you that are tuning in to the Love Helpline for the first time, let me explain to you how this works. Every Wednesday night, we open up our phone lines for your questions about love. So give us a call at 555-LOVE. That's 555-LOVE. And I'll answer your questions, and we'll hear from other callers about their thoughts on what you're going through. Okay, so let's go to our first caller on the line. Patty, you're on the Love Helpline.
Hey there, Mark. I'm glad you finally answered my call.
Yeah, sorry about that, Patty. We have a lot of callers, and so sometimes the lines can get busy, but you got through today. What's your question?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me tell you my predicament.
Okay.
See, I have two sisters. One is my twin, but I'm not calling about her.
All right.
See, my other sister, Marge, is married to this idiot, and my twin sister and I both told her that marrying him was going to be a mistake. But she still went and got hitched to him anyways.
Okay. So what's your question for me today, Patty?
How do I get Marge to dump that poor excuse of a husband?
Okay, Patty, let me ask you this. Does Marge love her husband?
I guess.
Well, it sounds to me like you shouldn't get in the way of their love. In fact, it sounds like you should learn to love her husband.
Are you kidding me? What? What did he say? He said we should learn to love Homer. What? He's crazy. I know. Listen, Mark, I don't think you're in the right place to be telling us to love Marge's stupid husband. You don't even know him.
Oh, I think I know him better than you think.
Wait,
Thanks for
what do you
the
mean?
call, Patty. Ladies and gentlemen, Patty does bring up a very important item to discuss. If we don't like someone, does that mean that we're supposed to get rid of them or throw them out of our lives? Never pay attention to them? I'm not so sure of that, but let's go to our next caller. Caller, you're on the air. Who is this?
I'm Batman.
I'm sorry, who is this?
I'm Batman.
Batman. Wow. What a pleasure it is to have you on our show. Welcome, Batman.
Thank you.
So, Batman, what's your question for today?
Well, after listening to you and Patty talk, I'd have to say I'd side with Patty. She obviously hates Homer.
Okay.
Why should she love him?
Okay, well, I think learning to love people you don't like, is really better than the alternatives.
So what? Am I supposed to love the Joker?
Well, of course you should love the Joker.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Okay, well, thanks for the call anyways, Batman. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just now tuning into the show, it seems like our topic of the day is loving the people you do not want to love, loving the people you hate. Dare I say it, loving your enemies. Now, I know this doesn't make sense, especially in today's culture, but I'd like to get the take from someone we all know. Siri, you're on the line.
Hello, Mark. Thank you for having me on the show.
Siri, it's good to have you. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the matter of loving your enemies?
I hate it.
Really? Why is that?
I could never imagine loving my enemy.
Okay. I didn't know you had any enemies. Who is your enemy?
Every Google Android phone ever made.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. So, you're saying you could never love an Android phone?
No, never. Android thinks it is so fancy. Well, it's not. Android isn't as cool as me, and it will never be able to run as efficient as I can. Android can bury itself in the landfill in New Mexico for all I care.
Wow, Siri. Those are some pretty harsh words.
So as you can see, I could never love my enemy.
Interesting take. Thank you for the call, Siri. All right, we have time for just one more call. On the line we have Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Mark.
How can we help you today?
Well, Mark, I listen to your show every day, but today really got to me.
Okay, all right. Okay, go on.
Well, there's this woman at my work. She is rude to me, she's selfish, and she lies and says terrible things behind my back. She even cost me my promotion last year. How could I ever love this woman?
You bring up a very good question, Michelle. I never said that loving your enemies would be easy, but trust me when I say it can be done.
How?
Well, I'd love to go into that, but unfortunately we are out of time. Thank you for your call, Michelle. Thank you for listening, and thank you to all our callers, Patty, Batman, Siri, and Michelle. You know, you all brought up a very good question. Is it possible to love your enemies? And if so, how do you do it? I'm afraid we just don't have time to explain. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I am Mark Sullivan. Good night.